Hello everyone, welcome to your today's session of current affairs. Today is Monday. I am Drishti and we are back again with another set of questions, a couple of topics which were there in news related to your polity and governance, right? So I hope the topics which we have discussed in the previous sessions, those are clear and you have had made notes of them and you've revised them properly, right? Today we are going to discuss a couple of very interesting topics. Some topics are in news after a very long period of time, so it will be a good revision. So let's get started. Before we get started, let's discuss the Seize the Mains question for you guys. Now Seize the Mains is our free initiative jahan pe we give you one question daily pertaining to one particular subject, and the answer to this you can write and post it on our website. The link for the same you can find in the description box given below, right? From there it will be evaluated by our team of experts entirely free of cost, and from here you can actually improve the skill of your answer writing and gain an extra edge, and this whole process is entirely free of cost, right? So the question for today's session is, briefly describe police commissionerate system. ठीक है, what are its benefits and discuss concerns associated with it. 150 words का question है, 10 marker है, right? Again I say this in every session. Seize the Mains में the important thing is any answer you write you have to address all three parts. So this is your first part, this is your second part benefits वाला, and concern वाला is third part. So जितने भी तीनों parts हैं they carry some weightage and until and unless you address all the questions you cannot get an edge over it, right? So ये वाला topic we are going to discuss in detail आगे, but this is your question. कुछ points you'll gain from here, कुछ points you can write from the previous knowledge you have about polity and governance, and the answer for the same will be discussed by Surbhi ma'am in the evening session. So from there you can check your answers, right? Let's get started. आज डिस्कस करेंगे हम चार इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स. योर फोर इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स आर, फर्स्ट वन इज अमेंडमेंट ऑफ बर्थ एंड डेथ एक्ट ऑफ 1969, ठीक है. देन इसमें कुछ अमेंडमेंट्स हुई हैं, रजिस्ट्रार जनरल ऑफ इंडिया के अंडर है, क्या क्या डिटेल्स हैं, वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट इन डिटेल. नाउ सेकेंड थिंग दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस इज forced conversions. Now considering the situations that have been happening in the country, considering the news that have been followed, forced conversions are in limelight, are in news from a very crucial point of view. So we are going to discuss that. क्या क्या repercussions हैं, क्या क्या constitutional safeguards हैं यहाँ पे, we are going to discuss that. And then there is police commissionerate system जिसके ऊपर आज का आपका Seize the Mains का question है. We are going to discuss this in detail. What are the provisions under it, what powers are provided under it, and which state has recently decided to apply it, and administration में इसके क्या क्या changes आएंगे. And the last topic for today that we are going to discuss is pre-matric scholarship scheme. So pre-matric scholarship scheme जो है आपकी, this the union government has scrapped now. It was there in place from a couple of years, पिछले past कुछ years, and because of this being in direct conflict with Right to Education Act, this has been scrapped, and इसकी details क्या क्या है that we are going to discuss, right? Let's get started. Now पहला जो topic है, this is regarding your amendment of registration of birth and death act of 1969. So जो bill है, the union government has brought a bill to amend registration of birth and death act 1969, and this is recently proposed by Ministry of Home Affairs. Prelims में you get a repetitive question about scheme देके या act देके, they ask you about this comes under which ministry. So like and vice versa, you must be well versed in the ministries as well. So this has been proposed by Ministry of Home Affairs, and this will be tabled in the winter session, the coming up session of the parliament. And इसके under Ministry of Home Affairs has taken first step towards National Population Registers NNRC, ठीक है. So कैसे कैसे unfold होगा वो देखते हैं आगे. Now if we talk about the salient features of ऑलरेडी RBD एक्ट ऑफ 1969 है, क्या क्या है. So registration of births and deaths are already compulsory in the country, but these are not followed wholeheartedly. बहुत सारी जगह पे अब ये हो गया है, this has become a compulsion, this has become a mandatory document. So people have been becoming very alert about it. Also Aadhaar has been made mandatory. So इसकी वजह से registration of birth and death जो act है, this was compulsory, but there is extra push towards it. ठीक है. Now births, which means live births, and they include still births as well. Still birth का क्या मतलब है? When the child is born, he is not live and breathing. In layman terms, it means if the child that is born is dead. ठीक है. So both they have to be registered. Now there has to be a uniform law for reporting and registration of all births and deaths occurring within the country under section 1 part 2. ठीक है. Also it prescribes functionaries at center, state, district and local levels and their roles and responsibilities for implementation of provisions of the act, sections 3, 4, 6 and 7 in particular, right. Also births and death events, they have to be registered by registrar at the place of occurrence and within her jurisdiction, which is said by section 7 part 2. ठीक है. So these are the given specifications about the RBD Act of 1969. But अभी इसमें changes क्या क्या करे जा रहे हैं, let's go through that once again. So they need to revamp the system and this was in The Hindu. Now what changes they are going to make are the state governments, they will be mandated to share जितना भी database है with the office of the Registrar General of India. ठीक है. रजिस्ट्रार जनरल ऑफ इंडिया आपका सेंसस भी कंट्रोल करता है. सो दिस विल हेल्प in both ways and vice versa. So they have to share all their data with Registrar General of India. Now this database, this will be linked to other government schemes which will again enable automatic addition and deletion of whatever data is relevant to that particular point of time. Also there will be a rigorous penalty clause on registrars who fail to register births and deaths as per the Registration Act of Birth या फिर RBD Act of 1969. ठीक है. इसके अलावा what is going to happen is real time data of both births and deaths, they are to be shared in public domain by all the state governments. Abhi a couple of state governments have been doing it. A couple of state governments, they have their own database for it. They have their own portals for it. But now this is going to be a centralized process. Also, Maharashtra is among the 24 states besides Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, which will maintain real time data. ठीक है. Real time data एक तो होता है recorded data which is valid for a couple of periods of for a couple of years. Now they will maintain real time data for births and deaths respectively. Sorry about this. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now if we talk about the provision of the draft bill, what all provisions are there? Now making of birth certificates has been made to be mandatory document. It has to be a mandatory document. जैसे ही किसी child का birth होता है, the birth has to be registered and it is a mandatory birth document. इसके अलावा data storage and this will be done for the purpose of data storage and simultaneously it will be linked to your electoral rolls. तो usually क्या होता था, पहले people used to have discrepancies in their actual birth dates and their registered birth dates. तो वहाँ से इसको eliminate करने की कोशिश करी जा रही है. Also people who have been registered at multiple places in multiple periods of time, उसको eliminate करने का ये पूरा एक process है. Also similar process will be carried out for the death certificates and this will help in assessing the pensions and whatever benefits, social benefits that government has been giving, ये उसको regulate करने में help करेगा. Right. Now here also they will be making the registration mandatory for everyone. If we talk about the current data that is available to us, so there is this online portal system called CRS. CRS का मतलब है सिविल रजिस्ट्रेशन सिस्टम विच इज अंडर द रजिस्ट्रार जनरल ऑफ इंडिया and it is basically for the registration of births and deaths under the operation control of registrar general of India. ठीक है. Now if we talk about CRS के data के according registration level of births जो है for the country this has increased to 92.7% in 2019 from 82.0% in 2010. ठीक है. So ये एक drastic progressive step दिखाता है. Also if we talk about the deaths, तो this has increased from 66.9% in 2010 to 92% in 2019. ठीक है, ये इस चीज को क्लियर दिखाता है. If we talk about state wise assessment, so there are several states such as Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Tripura, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal which are already registering their deaths, all births and deaths through CRS. Similarly, there are states such as Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Nagaland, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, Arunachal Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. They have their own system. ठीक है, they have their own portal, state portal systems for the use of partial and they use this given portal partially. Also, meanwhile, if we talk about union territories, so union territories such as Andaman and Nicobar, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, they register everything through CRS and the other UTs such as Delhi, Lakshadweep, Pondicherry, Jammu Kashmir, they have their own system in place. ठीक है, so ये basically अगर आप देखो overall जो national status है, this is how things have been working along, this is how things have been flowing. Now if we talk about the objective, registration of births and deaths जो है Act, RBD Act of 1969, this regulates the matter concerning the registration of births and deaths and जितने भी उससे related matters हैं, again your birth certificates, your Aadhaar, उससे related citizenship issues जो आते हैं निकल के, also your pension benefits and social security benefits, everything is interlinked to this particular act. If we talk about the role of registrar general यहाँ पे, तो the position of registrar general is filled by a person appointed by the central government of India and registrar general जो है he oversees this whole process. Meanwhile, government can also appoint a person with such designation which the government thinks is fit for the role and can work under the supervision of registrar general of India. Now उस person के पास पावर क्या होगी? He can issue general directions concerning जो भी registration है of births and deaths है for the states and union territories both respectively under this particular act. Also they can coordinate and unify the activities of chief registrars and submit their reports as per this act to the central government and जितना भी आपका एक congregated consolidated database है उसको हम forward लेके आएंगे. Now if we talk about the role of chief registrar, so they are appointed by the central government of India. ठीक है, again prelims में ना you usually get the statements, what are the statements are true about this particular the post of president, prime minister. In UPSC you get these questions, also in your state civil services examinations you get these sort of questions. तो किसके क्या क्या role है, that must be very clear in your head. Now if we talk about the chief registrar, so they are appointed by the central government. The person, whoever he she is, they are responsible for carrying out execution of provisions of this act. They remain chief executive of state only and they carry out execution of rules and orders which are subject to the directions of state government. Also if we talk about district registrar, so they are appointed by state government for the each revenue of the district. ठीक है, now again role of registrar की बात करें, the normal registrars, state registrars, so they are appointed by the state government for each local area जिसमें this which might include land under jurisdiction of a municipality, a panchayat or any other local authority as well as any other area या फिर a combination of two or more of them. जितनी भी इसमें से condition है, it can be either a single case or a combination of both of them. ठीक है, Now, if the registrars are supposed to keep themselves updated about every birth and death which has been taking place under their jurisdiction, अगर आप इस एक्ट को फॉलो नहीं करते हो, what are the penalties that might be charged upon you? Now, section 23 जो है एक्ट का, section 23 of the act, it provides for detailed provisions regarding penalties and person may attract certain provisions of the act if they are not adhering to it. क्या क्या है? If a person fails to give or provide information which comes under that person's duty to inform regarding any birth or death that takes place, or gives a false information or refuses to provide his information under section 11 of the act, तो इसके अंडर आपको या तो फाइन है या फिर जेल है या फिर बोथ है, ठीक है. देयर आर सर्टन प्रोविजंस, तो ये दोनों को आपको ध्यान रख के चलना पड़ेगा. द whole process, again I am telling you, is government's first step to form a consolidated national population register. Now we need a centralized database because this proposal and amendments, they intend to bring whole database on a common platform. Again, this will be useful in making NPR and NRC, and if these amendments are implemented, central government, they can use the data to update national population register, and this was first prepared in 2010, and again this can be revised as soon as, if these things are taking place in real time, so they can be revised but in whatever time period they decide. They can be revised monthly, they can be revised quarterly, they can be revised yearly. So simultaneously a lot of updation process can take place there, right? Now this NPR already has a database of 119 crore people under citizenship rules of 2003. Again, this is the first step towards a national register of citizens, right? So I hope ये वाला जो टॉपिक था उससे रिलेटेड जितना कुछ डिस्कस करा है वो आपको क्लियर होगा. इफ़ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स प्लीज मेंशन देम इन कमेंट्स. नाउ लेट्स मूव अहेड टू आवर सेकंड टॉपिक ऑफ द डे. नाउ in India there has been a lot of noise, lot of chaos about forced conversions right now. So Union Ministry जो है आपकी Home Affairs की, again even this topic is related to Home Affairs Ministry. So now Home Affairs Ministry, they have filled an affidavit regarding the menace of forced conversion. क्या बोला जा रहा है? Forced conversions are in the direct conflict with your right to profess your religion, right to freedom of religion, and especially conflict कहाँ पे निकल के आता है? Where there is fraud involved, there is deception involved, there is coercion or allurement through any such means जिसकी वजह से आप एक पर्सन को पुश कर रहे हो कि वो अपना रिलीजन चेंज करे. चेंजिंग ऑफ रिलीजन हैज़ लार्जली बीन एसोसिएटेड, इंडिया में जो देखा जा रहा है मेजर केसेस आर फ्रॉम हिंदुइज्म टू इस्लाम, ठीक है. बट देर आर अदर कन्वर्जन्स ऑल्सो दैट हैव बिन टेकिंग प्लेस. सपोज नॉर्थ ईस्ट में क्रिश्चियन मिशनरीज का जो एक पूरा प्रोफेसिंग चल रहा है, जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट में ट्राइबल्स आर कन्वर्टिंग इनटू क्रिश्चियनिटी, सो उससे रिलेटेड भी ये पूरी चीज़ें अप्लाई होती हैं. बट मेजॉरिटी अगर आप देखो, so this has been brought up in the face of Hindus converting into Islam. Now if we talk about laws of forced conversions, so Ministry of Home Affairs has said that some states they already have laws to curb forced conversions, and now all these laws they have been already upheld by the court. Now for this very reason they want a centralized law, a centralized rules and regulations जिसके थ्रू ये पूरे इशू को एक प्रॉपर वे में रेगुलेट करा जा सके. राइट नाउ द गवर्नमेंट हैज सबमिटेड सच इनैक्टमेंट्स आर नेसेसरी फॉर द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ जितनी भी रिलीजियस राइट्स हैं, एंड पर्टिकुलरली दीज आर हेल्पफुल इन द केस ऑफ women and economically and socially backward classes. Now if we talk about past में जो judgments आई हैं, what Supreme Court has said? Supreme Court judgments has said that now government ने, Supreme Court ने बोला है कि there is a right to spread your religion very peacefully, but there is no right to convert people forcibly or by brainwashing them or by coercion or by fraud from their one religion to another. Now SC ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने प्रीवियस जजमेंट में ये कहा है कि the word propagate does not envisage the right to convert a person. propagate का मतलब है peaceful प्रचार, ठीक है. Now ये पॉजिटिव राइट के अंडर आता है टू स्प्रेड वंस रिलीजन, ठीक है, एक्सपोजर देते हुए, एक्सपोजिशन ऑफ इट्स टेनेट्स. ऑल्सो कोर्ट हैज एडेड इस पूरे केस में दैट फ्रॉडुलेंट या इंड्यूस्ड कन्वर्जन्स जो हैं अपॉन इट इंफ्रिंजेस अपॉन द राइट्स ऑफ पीपल एंड स्टेट हैज द पावर टू रेगुलेट देम अकॉर्डिंगली सो एज दे आर इन द मेजॉरिटी बेनिफिट ऑफ द पीपल. नाउ there are a couple of important case studies इस पूरे issue में. So there has been Sarla Mudgal case of 1995. Now here Supreme Court ने ये कहा that conversion to Islam was not valid if it was only done to practice polygamy. ठीक है, अलग अलग लोगों के पास motivations है. So if it is only done for polygamy, then it is not acceptable. Now if we talk about Chandrasekharan case of 1963, इस केस में कोर्ट ने कहा that a person just because he has said कि मैं अपने religion को नहीं मानता हूँ, he does not cease to be a Hindu. The court has said that a person does not cease to be a Hindu merely because he declares he has no faith in religion and stops practicing his religion. अगर आप एक पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन से एसोसिएटेड हो एंड टुडे you are saying कि I am not following this faith does not mean that you have stopped being a Hindu. This was said in Chandrasekharan case. Now if we talk about right to freedom of religion in India, Indian constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by the religious beliefs and practices as they have been interpreting it from times immemorial, and it is their personal domain. Now in keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India has also adopted a strategy of separating the powers of religion and power of the state, जिसको हम बोलते हैं separation of powers, popularly article 50 of the constitution. separation of powers जो है state religious matters में interfere नहीं करेगा and religious जो bodies हैं वो state के matters में interfere नहीं करेंगी. but India में because religious sentiments are so high, it has been very hard to keep both these parameters apart. If we talk about the constitutional provision, so there is article 25 which gives freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Then there is article 26 which gives freedom to manage your religious affairs. Then there is article 27, it gives freedom to pay taxes for the promotion of a particular religion. आप जिसको भी follow कर रहे हो, जिसको भी promote करना चाहते हो. Then there is article 28 which says freedom to attend religious instructions of worship, and this is related to your educational institutions. Now there have been legislations against the forced conversions in India. क्या क्या है legislations? Let's see. Now in 1954 Parliament ने एक रूल लेके आए थे, एक लॉ लेके आए थे, Indian Conversion Regulation and Registration Bill. Also for 6 years this was in talks, ठीक है, इसके ऊपर discussions होते रहे. 6 years later another law came, the Backward Communities Religious Protection Bill, and this was proposed to stop conversion, but both were scrapped because of the not full-fledged support from the state. जो भी parliament है उसकी वजह से both could not move ahead, and अभी जो हमारे पास status है that has been the status since then. Now if we talk about the particular state laws, so there are certain states जिनके पास अपने already laws हैं. For example, Odisha हो गया, मध्य प्रदेश, अरुणाचल प्रदेश, they had passed anti-conversion laws in 1967, 1968 and 1978. So आप देखोगे 1960s से already this was felt that anti-conversion law, forced conversion laws are to be needed. Later similar laws अगर आप देखोगे, they were passed by the assemblies of Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh and Rajasthan. Now these laws particularly were intended to stop conversions forcefully या फिर by induced brainwashing. Now there are certain permissions that have been allowed. Some of the laws they make it mandatory to seek prior permission from the local authorities before getting converted. तो वहाँ पे they need to keep check and balances कि कहीं ये forced तो नहीं है, कहीं ये heat of the moment में या किसी और पर्पज से तो नहीं करा जा रहा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वेरी प्रोमिनेंट वन इज द polygamy one. If we talk about the penalties, so penalty for breaching this law, they range from punishments from 1 to 3 years या फिर from 5,000 to 50,000 rupees if found is done for some other reasons just to find legal loopholes altogether. तो उस केस में आपको ये penalties पे करनी पड़ेंगी. Also some of the laws they provide penalties if इस पूरे केस में the people who are suffering are women, children, SC, STs. तो वहाँ पे भी this is a penal offense. ठीक है, this you can be penalized for it. Now offenses that the forced conversion attract. So these laws they particularly made forced conversion a cognizable offense under section 295A and 298 of the Indian Penal Code, which pertain to malicious and deliberate intention to hurt religious sentiment of others. Also most of these conversions are motivated by religious dogma. ठीक, जो भी इंडिया में पर्टिकुलर देयर हैज बीन अ वास्ट रिलीजियस टसल, राइट्स हो जाते हैं, तो एक रिलीजन का जो होल सोल एटमॉस्फेयर है, दीज आर motivated from this particular aspect. Also if we talk about Indian secularism is very different from what the secularism is seen in the world. So it's a mixture of peaceful coexistence where tolerance has been always the bottom line, the bedrock of Indian secularism. So however जो cultural fragmentation है, this has come in direct conflict with it for times immemorial, but somehow the state has made it a point कि सबको equity provide करी जा सके. Right, so this concludes this topic. Let's move ahead to a third topic of the day. Third topic of the day is police commissionerate system. So why this was in news? This was in news recently because Uttar Pradesh government has decided to introduce this particular system in Agra, Ghaziabad and Prayagraj after it was implemented in Noida, Varanasi, Lucknow and Kanpur. ठीक है, so Yogi government has been pushing reforms. Now all three इसके लिए कमिश्नरेट सिस्टम लाने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? The basic requirement is ये जो 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैं, these 3 districts they would have to be declared as metropolitan cities under your CRPC, Code of Criminal Procedure जो है, under this these will have to be declared as metropolitan cities before implementing these acts. If we talk about इस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम में पुलिस कमिश्नर के अंडर क्या क्या जो हैं आपके बेनिफिट्स आएंगे, क्या क्या आपके पावर्स आ जाएंगी. ठीक है, नाउ अंडर दिस न्यू सिस्टम जो कमिश्नर है, जो कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस है, ही विल इशू ऑर्डर्स टू मेंटेन पब्लिक पीस, इम्पोजिंग ऑफ सेक्शन ऑफ 144 एंड ऑर्डरिंग कर्फ्यू. नॉर्मल जो डुअल सिस्टम होता है उसके अंडर ये सारी ऑर्डर्स होती हैं आपकी डीएम के अंडर. ठीक है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट होल्ड्स द सुप्रीम पावर, बट यहाँ पे कमिश्नर ऑफ पावर को हम अनरेगुलेटरी एब्सोल्यूट पावर्स दे रहे हैं. ठीक है, दिस इज सेड टू बी डन फॉर द बेटर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ सच प्लेसेस, बट द बॉटम लाइन इज यहाँ पे इनको सुप्रीम पावर दी जा रही है. ऑल्सो कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस ही कैन डायरेक्टली एनफोर्स गुंडा एक्ट या गैंगस्टर एक्ट अगेंस्ट क्रिमिनल्स. अगेन all powers to initiate any action under Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956, this will be given to the Commissioner of Police. Similarly, Commissioner of Police can direct to neutralize an animal if in his opinion it would be cruel to keep the animal alive. ठीक है, sometimes animals are in such pain that it is decided it is better to put them to rest than to keep them alive, to put them out of their agony. So यहाँ पे भी कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस को ये अथॉरिटी दी जाएगी अंडर प्रिवेंशन ऑफ क्रूएल्टी टू एनिमल्स एक्ट 1960. Similarly, the power to regulate manufacture and issue of licenses for explosives. ठीक है, एक्सप्लोसिव जो असला बारूद है उसकी पावर भी this has been given to your commissioner of police. Also, commissioner of police कैन स्लैप पेनल्टी इफ प्रोहिबिटेड आइटम्स आर टेकन इनटू प्रिजन रूल्स, ठीक है। सो प्रिजनर्स के केस में भी देयर द वायलेशंस, यहाँ पे भी कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस को सुप्रीम पावर दी जा रही है। अगेन अंडर द एक्ट फॉर प्रिवेंशन अगेंस्ट सेफ्टी फ्रॉम फायर, कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस कैन इशू अगेन पेनल्टी टू वायलेटर्स, अवॉर्ड कॉम्पनसेशन, इंट्रोड्यूस सेफ्टी मेजर्स इन बिल्डिंग्स। ये सारी पावर्स इनिशियली इफ यू सी द डुअल सिस्टम ये डीएम के अंडर होती हैं, बट हेयर इन द कमिश्नरेट सिस्टम कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस को ये सारी पावर्स दी जा रही हैं। ऑल्सो हेयर कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस कैन टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट suspected foreigners staying in hotels, their departure or documents within them under the Foreigners Act of 1946. So अगर हम acts का क्विक रिविजन कर लें तो कौन कौन से एक्ट्स जाएंगे। सो यहाँ पे सेक्शन 144 हेयर गुंडा या गैंगस्टर एक्ट, हेयर ट्रैफिक प्रिवेंशन एक्ट, हेयर क्रुएल्टी टू एनिमल्स एक्ट, हेयर एक्सप्लोजिव एक्ट, हेयर इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सो दिस कैन बी डन अंडर प्रिजनर्स एक्ट, हेयर amendments or supreme power has been given under the fire explosive safety and prevention act, and here the supreme power has been given under the foreigners act. इन acts के अलावा भी there are a couple of acts जहाँ पे इसको commissioner of police है, they hold a supreme power, right? Now particularly if we talk about this system, so हेयर एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ पुलिस अंडर कमिश्नरेट सिस्टम की हम बात करें, कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस ही एक्सरसाइजेस द पावर्स एंड ड्यूटीज ऑफ अ डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट। दीज पावर्स अगर आप देखो दे आर ऑल्सो अवेलेबल टू एनी ऑफिसर अंडर द कमिश्नर हु इज नॉट बिलो द रैंक ऑफ असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस। नाउ हेयर पुलिस आर ऑल्सो एम्पावर्ड टू कंडक्ट एक्सटर्नमेंट प्रोसीडिंग। एक्सटर्नमेंट प्रोसीडिंग क्या बोलते हैं, इसका क्या पर्टिकुलर मीनिंग है, if there has been certain criminal activity at a certain place, उस पूरे एरिया को for a particular point of time that is kept out of public approach, ठीक है, पब्लिक को वहाँ नहीं जाने दिया जाता है because it is a crime scene, उसको पूरे को externment proceeding बोला जाता है, ठीक है। and here he can issue written orders to remove a person from their jurisdiction of commissionerate for the maximum of 2 years. तो यहाँ पे ये पावर्स इनको दी जा रही हैं। If we talk about what has been need to introduce the commissionerate system, so various committees which have been constituted, they have suggested this under the police reforms, क्योंकि they have recommended it. Why? Because the implementation of this particular system in cities have witnessed rapid urbanization एंड जहाँ पे भी पॉपुलेशन 10 लाख से ज़्यादा हुई है वहाँ पे दिस हैज़ बिन फाउंड दैट दिस प्रॉम्प्ट्स इफेक्टिव एंड इम्प्रॉम्प्टू इफेक्टिव एंड ऑन द मोमेंट अगर कोई भी केओटिक सिचुएशन हो रही है, सो बिकॉज डिस्ट्रिक्ट कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस इज मोर acquainted with the territory as a whole, तो उनके लिए decisions लेना also उस पूरी situation को control करना बहुत easy हो जाता है। इसलिए this has been pushed from a very long time, and if you talk about उत्तर प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट तो इसको rapidly जितनी भी बड़ी cities हैं उसमें they are replicating and taking it forward. If you talk about 6th report of National Police Commission, तो here changing dynamism and growing complexity of जितने भी security threats हैं उनको देखते हुए this is applied to these particular places. Also it solves the issue of lack of understanding which is usually seen in both the departments, DM का department and police department, उन दोनों में जो कन्फ्लिक्ट आ जाता है कई बार, कन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट की बात करें तो उसको रिजॉल्व करने में ये काफ़ी इजी रहता है बिकॉज सुप्रीम पावर दे दी है जो दे हैव द होल सोल राइट। ऑल्सो इफ यू टॉक अबाउट एडिशनल पावर्स तो यहाँ पे ऑब्वियसली जो कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस है उसको डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट क्या पावर्स दे रहे हो, तो दे हैव बिन गिवन एडिशनल पावर्स। नाउ व्हाट आर द इश्यूज विद द कमिश्नरेट सिस्टम? नाउ डेलीगेशन ऑफ अथॉरिटी है, बेटर इंटीग्रेशन की अगर हम बात करें तो they will have to be addressed, ठीक है। ओवर पावर सी हेयर जो सबॉर्डिनेट लेवल पे है उसको आप ओवर एक्टिंग पावर दे रहे हो टू देयर सुपीरियर, तो यहाँ पे कन्फ्लिक्ट आना बनेगा एंड इसका क्या एक प्रॉपर मीन्स रहेगा, क्या इसकी वैलिडिटी रहेगी, वहाँ पे कन्फ्लिक्ट आ सकता है. सो दिस नीड्स टू बी एड्रेस्ड. ऑल्सो इफ वी टॉक अबाउट इमेंस पावर, सो दिस विल लीड टू द इमेंस पावर इन द हैंड्स ऑफ पुलिस विच कैन बी मिसयूज्ड अगेंस्ट द पब्लिक, समटाइम्स अगेंस्ट द इनोसेंट. तो इसको जस्ट टू कीप इन चेक, इसके लिए क्या करा जा सकता है. ऑल्सो इफ वी टॉक अबाउट civil administrative officials, so they have an edge because people are more comfortable in interacting with them as they create balance in the society. तो वहाँ पे इनको sideline करा जा रहा है, उसको address करने के लिए क्या करा जाएगा. Also it works well when literacy ratio is high. But if you talk about these particular belts of India, उत्तर प्रदेश हो गया, बिहार हो गया, यहाँ पे literacy levels are comparatively low. People do not actually know what their rights are. So इन चीज़ को कंट्रोल करने के लिए यहाँ पे क्या लाएगा, वो चीज़ को चेक करना है. ठीक है. नाउ इफ यू टॉक अबाउट स्ट्रक्चर, जो पूरा कमिश्नरेट सिस्टम का स्ट्रक्चर आएगा, तो डिप्यूटी इंस्पेक्टर होगा, डीआईजी का रैंक का बंदा होगा, जो ऑफिसर होगा डीआईजी के रैंक का, डीआईजी रैंक और अबव ऑफिसर, ही विल बी अपॉइंटेड एज कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस. ही विल बी असिस्टेड बाय अ स्पेशल कमिश्नर, अ जॉइंट कमिश्नर, एडिशनल कमिश्नर एंड अ डिप्टी कमिश्नर. ठीक है. ऑल्सो अकॉर्डिंग टू कमिश्नरेट सिस्टम विच इज इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन वेरियस कमिश्नरेट, जो आपका कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस है, ही विल डायरेक्टली रिपोर्ट टू द गवर्नमेंट इन प्लेस ऑफ योर डीएम. ठीक है. तो ये एक पूरा इसका स्ट्रक्चर है. डायरेक्ट आपकी रिपोर्टिंग जो है वो चीफ मिनिस्टर को जाएगी. हाउ मेनी स्टेट्स हैव इट? इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द स्टेट्स इन इंडिया, सो ऑलमोस्ट ऑल स्टेट्स, जिसमें कौन कौन से एक्सेप्शंस हैं जो ये चीज़ को नहीं फॉलो कर रहे हैं. बिहार, मध्य प्रदेश, Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and some northeastern states have a commissionerate system. And if you talk about the historical aspect of it, so British brought this system first in Kolkata and then it was followed in Mumbai and Chennai presidencies. Delhi turned into a commissionerate during Morarji Desai का जो आपका regime आया था उस time पे. Delhi is also, पूरा जो Delhi का police establishment है, that has a different act for it ऑल टुगेदर. तो दिल्ली का जो रूलिंग है, यूटीज़ का जो रूलिंग है, वो बहुत डिफरेंट डोमेन में आ जाता है. बट एट प्रेजेंट कमिश्नरेट सिस्टम का स्टेटस ये है. लेट्स सी आगे चीज़ें कैसे इवॉल्व करती हैं. ठीक है. नाउ दिस ब्रिंग्स टू आवर लास्ट एंड फोर्थ टॉपिक ऑफ टुडे, वो डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. ना यूनियन गवर्नमेंट हैज स्टॉप्ड, जबकि प्री मैट्रिक मतलब 10th से पहले की जो आपको स्कॉलरशिप्स मिलती थी, ठीक है, फॉर स्टूडेंट्स who were studying in classes 1 to 8 and who belong to scheduled caste, SC, ST and OBCs. ठीक है. scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and OBCs and minority communities from the academic year 2021 and 2023. ठीक है. Now if we talk about the scheme क्या थी? प्री मैट्रिक स्कॉलरशिप्स दी जाती थी फॉर द पर्टिकुलरली वल्नरेबल सेक्शंस, जिसमें SC, ST, OBCs आते थे, एंड इट वॉज अ सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम विच was implemented through state governments and union territories. Now scheme जो है, this is available for students who are studying in India only and this will be awarded by the state and union territory to which the person belongs. Now reason क्या रहा? scheme जो था, it used to be a foundation for their education attainment and it will provide a level playing field in the competitive employment arena. Now empowerment through the education अगर हम बात करें तो this is one of the objectives of the scheme and has the potential to lead for the upliftment of socio-economic conditions of minority communities. Now government of India का stand ये है कि under Right to Education Act जो 1st से 8th तक की स्टडी है ऑलरेडी, वहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट्स, मैक्सिमम पॉसिबिलिटीज, मैक्सिमम एवेन्यूज टू ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स टू गेन अटेन द एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन and it makes obligatory for the government to provide free and compulsory elementary education from classes 1 to 8 for every child. तो वहाँ पे actually scholarship की ज़रूरत है ही नहीं. Only the students who are in class 9th and 10th are now covered under pre-matric scholarship and इसको इस year से scrap कर दिया जाएगा. Right? So this concludes your session for today. I hope जितने topics हमने clear करे हैं, discuss करे हैं, those are clear. If you have any doubts, you can mention them in comments. We'll meet again on next Monday. Till then, stay tuned and keep learning, keep watching. Thank you so much. Bye bye.